So you had talked earlier about some of the dogs at Dude Pack
Yeah.
are surrendered by families.
Yes, exactly.
So what can a family or an individual, what can they do to make sure that they are prepared to hopefully adopt
yes.
a dog? Or, a lot of people will buy one, but what do they need to make sure that they're doing?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like oftentimes, especially being like our name, the Dude Pack, we do specialize in a lot of like the doodles, golden doodles, poodle mixes, things like that. And that's a very sought after breed or purchased breed, as you mentioned. Some would fight that it's not a breed. I'm not going to go back and forth on it. There are thousands of oodles and doodles and poodles out there, and they all need homes regardless of it. But the point being is, what you don't know, you don't know. So if you are first time pet parent and you're falling in love with your friend's, golden doodle, what's the first thing? You're going to go in golden doodle puppies on Google or Facebook, whatever you're doing, right? The best thing is not to be impulsive. You can't just, right away make that decision. This is a lifelong decision for that pet, and then of course for you as you go through and you care for them. It's not a matter of just getting them and then it's like, okay, they're just a companion in the house now, because you do have to train them. You do have to feed them and groom them and make sure that they get their vaccines and spay and neuter them, all of these things. And I think that that's oftentimes where people are either an emotional or maybe just compulsive decision of like, I need to get this right now.
Right.
And they purchase a puppy, and then 3, 4, 5 months later down the road, they're realizing all of the expenses that come with it. And that's oftentimes what happens is they'll contact us and they'll say, oh my goodness, like, I didn't realize what I was getting myself into. I work 9 to 5 and this poor puppy is in a cage all day and not getting the training and socialization that it needs. Like, can you guys help? And rather than, of course, sending it to a pound or a shelter where it's only going to regress worse from being surrendered and that lack of individualized care, they come to us and we really help give them what they need and more.
Okay.
A lot of times it's like a year and a half old, right at that like end of puppyhood and like start of adulthood where you start to see some of the puppyhood antics pushing back.
Yeah. So for those folks that are going to be or want to be new pet parents, make sure that you're financially ready.
Yes.
And make sure that you're going to have the time to spend with them and to train them.
Yes. I say always research your breed too that you're interested in, because I feel oftentimes people see a doodle or a poodle or whatever, a beautiful dog that it is, and they're like, oh, that dog is stunning. I want that. That matches like whatever I want, right? And they have no idea what that dog is designed for. It could be designed for herding farm animals. It could be designed for police work. It could be designed for just overall human companionship, Overall, too many people find themselves in situations where they're like, oh, I have, 5, 6 kids, and then I just adopted this Australian cattle dog, and now the kids are getting, herded around the house or bit or nipped, and it causes issues in that regard. It's the lack of education or preparation in the case.
That's why I'm glad we're talking about this, because I'm sure, and I've seen...
Case in point, golden doodles, you got to groom them regularly, or people like will get huskies and then they'll do the opposite and they'll like shave them down because they don't want their coats to be excessively all over the place. And that really damages that dog. You shouldn't be doing that to that particular breed. So really taking, again, that effort to know what you're getting yourself into.
Right.
You don't just go buy a car that you know nothing about, or you don't just buy well, hopefully you don't, or people like buying a house in a neighborhood that you know nothing about. You research, you take the time and you educate yourself. And people, again, just really need to do that when they're adopting a pet, be it a dog, a cat, an iguana, a lizard, bird, anything. Always research.
Yeah, for sure.